Hey you guys, so I just wanted to get on here right quick. I know the first video was silent, which I thought was pretty cool. I had planned to do a voiceover, and then what happened was there was so much noise in the background when I was doing the recording that I was like, okay, never mind. I'm not even gonna bother trying to do a voiceover. Like, let me just go ahead and use it as, keep it as a silent movie. So I liked it, I enjoyed doing it. So what we're gonna do now is, of course, we have to finish up these cuties, and then we have the other ones that are ready to go. We got to drill holes in them, and then we just got to put the dimensional magic on there. I would tell you the trick with the dimensional magic, because I had one of my creative sisters ask me like how I use it. So you can't shake it. You have to make sure it doesn't get air bubbles in it. You want to pour it slowly, right? So that's kind of the trick with using the dimensional magic. And you want to check it periodically within the first each 5-minute increment to pop any holes and bubbles. Because once it gets a bubble in it, it's a wrap, right? You're not going to be able to get it out once it dries. And it's not like resin where you can hold fire over it and the fire will get the bubble out, because it's not a flammable product like that. I think that's why you're able to do that with the resin, but you can't do that with dimensional magic. So I'm just putting 3 colors down here because I think we have maybe 3 more pumpkins that we're gonna work with, 3 more stickers, and then we're gonna move on to some other stuff. Oh my gosh, so I'm gonna do a sticker haul video. That's gonna be my next video so you can see the other stuff I got. So we only have technically these 4 pumpkins to work with. I don't think I'm gonna do all 4 earrings. I'm not sure yet. But one, I need to figure out who and what can fit on what, right? So I think that, yeah, we're gonna do the white ones. And so you guys, I'm rushing because I have an insurance live I have to do right quick. And so I said, well, let me get on here and get these done, at least do the base painting, so then we can work on these after I do my real job. Okay, so listen, I was gonna set up my brother and sister, my twin sister and my brother-in-law. They have a coffee truck called Hollywood Java, and they do a lot of vendor events, especially for the fall and stuff. So I had reached out to one of the places they're gonna be doing, it's called a Halloween haunt or something like that. And I asked the lady if I could be a vendor, and she said, well, we don't have craft and jewelry vendors and stuff like that during the Halloween haunt. We just have food. She said, but have you considered selling your jewelry in our consignment shop? I was like, I never even knew there was a consignment shop. This is a really great place here called the Botanical Gardens. So I'm gonna go over there and see what that's all about, see what their commission structure looks like. I hadn't thought about selling my jewelry. I mean, I just do it for fun. But look, there's nothing wrong with making some shmoney off our designs, right? So we'll see. I hadn't even thought that far in advance, but I was like, oh, that'd be a creative opportunity, at least to get some stuff sold, pay for my jewelry habit. I was gonna say hobby, but it's more of a habit, right? If you know, you know. And shout out to my sister in this creative space too, that bought the same stickers. And yes, great minds think alike. Oh my gosh, I went today to see if they had any other unique stickers for Halloween, but they didn't. And I was like, okay, I don't want to make too many anyway, because it's only a day. It's not like it's a whole season, right? But some people do not celebrate, but wear Halloween stuff year round. So anyway, I didn't buy any more because I didn't want to be wasteful. I was like, let me just use what I have. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm just putting 2 coats on here, and that red is it's a pretty heavy coat. So we're good with that. Let me get a paper towel. So then the other one we're gonna do a light blue. I'm thinking we're either gonna do maybe, I don't know, that one's kind of weird to me. I think it's a princess pumpkin, but I really think that's weird. But somebody else might like it. I don't know. Guess I'll see if it'll fit on here. I think it's too big for that piece that we were gonna use. So let's see if we can just do the regular pumpkin. I don't know, something about that one is weird. Maybe it's supposed to look like Princess Bubblegum or something like that from Adventure Time. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Yeah, we'll probably just do, I don't know, that pumpkin's kind of boring. Right? Boring, boring, boring. I got that from Wubsy. And then We're already doing the white one. I don't know. Let's just paint the base and then we'll figure it out. That way we're not lollygagging. I'm not holding you up. And you know you can skip past this, right? Me and my indecisiveness as it relates to which pumpkin sticker to choose. But wait until you see all the other stickers. I literally got carried away. But for my birthday, which was last week, thank you for those of you that shouted me out happy birthday over on my Facebook page. In case I didn't see that, I got some gift cards. And so I forget where I went. I think Dollar Tree, and got completely carried away on the sticker aisle. It was ridiculous, but they have some incredible stickers that look like glass mosaics. So wait until I show you those. And I had gone to Hobby Lobby and was thinking about buying stickers, but they were $3.99 at 50% off. I'm like, oh, y'all playing. And it was the same stickers that kind of, no, ain't dogging Hobby Lobby out, so don't y'all tag me here fussing about that. But I just felt like it was the same sticker quality and same stickers you could get at Dollar Tree. So I paid $4, which then technically is $2 and some change after the sale. So I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. But anyway, so pretty. So we're just doing this really pretty blue base, like a robin's egg blue. I had a pedicure today, y'all, and I never pamper myself with stuff like that because sometimes I just feel like, ooh, this is taking too long. I had to get up from this chair, right? And it was so good. The lady had to pull out the drill, y'all. God bless it. And I mean like a buzzy drill to get the dead skin off my feet. I was like, this is pretty bad. But anyway, it's the truth. That happened. So I'm going to go shake up the orange right quick and come back so we can do an orange pumpkin. Let me see. Yeah. That should fit on there. So at least we'll have a bright orange one. So let me go rinse the brushes off and then we'll come back and do that last base and then we'll get to putting stickers on. Okay, so we're doing a really pretty bright orange. Because, I mean, it's Halloween, right? Even though I do like all the bright colors I chose for Halloween and chose to do for Halloween, I'm super excited. And also, I know one person got annoyed that I said this on my creative channel, that they were like, they didn't come here to hear about insurance. But if you don't have insurance, I need you to give me a call, honey. We are not going to be around here, everybody, you know, trying to figure out what's going to happen in the event something happens to someone. I'm licensed in multiple states, and I have business partners that are too. So I'm putting that out there. I'm not worried about that person that said they came here only to hear about creativity. Okay, well then you're in the wrong channel, because here I'm gonna talk about Jesus, I'm gonna talk about God, we're gonna talk about earrings, we're gonna talk about real estate, we're gonna talk about insurance, we're gonna talk about food, we're gonna talk about what I want to talk about. Right? And I don't mean that in any harm or disrespect, but you know, when people come to your channel and they're like, I didn't come to hear about this, I'm like, well, ma'am, this is my channel, right? So anyway, we're gonna let those dry. I'm gonna run and do my insurance video because I said I would. So if you happen to be licensed and you're watching this video and you want to know how to grow your insurance business for free, hop over on my live and join me there. At this point, when you see this, it'll probably already be saved and recorded, so please be sure to go and watch it. And I'll be back to add the stickers as soon as these dry. Okay, I realized I had a few more minutes, so let's go ahead and put the stickers on, the red ones that we're going to use. And let's do the white one. I think that's what we had planned to do anyway. And even though these are stickers, and we're not putting glue on the back, when we go to put the dimensional magic down, they'll stick. Right, so, and the glue is damp, so I'm sure that's going to make them stick as well. So I just chose not to use the glue in doing these. It should be fine. And then we just want to make sure we're lining them up. You already know. You already know. So, one down. Hold on. So we're going to press that one down. And then of course we have to dry the back. So we're just going to sit those over there while they get their dry on. I think because this one's plain orange, I felt like it might go well with the blue, but let's see. I'm also a little indecisive about this one. Hold on. Now let's go ahead and do that one because that pastel-y little pumpkin, he looks like he's going to be really pretty against this blue color. Okay. I'm going to turn it around so you can see them too. I'm just trying to use the flat surface to press them down. And I want to give a shout out to all of you that are calling me that are interested in insurance, selling insurance from my other videos. Thank you so much. Like, it's just a blessing. We brought on 2 new agents. So that means more people protected and covered. Look how pretty. I love those. So then we're going to zhuzh those up. I think the orange ones are still too wet for me to, I don't know. They might be good to go. I'm probably still going to do one more coat like around the sticker once we put it on there. But this way, while I'm recording the other video, the other live, this can be drying. Okay. And some people ask me why I do earrings if it's not a business, because the Lord told me to, right? He told me to get on here to teach jewelry making, to talk about him. I've shared this stuff before, but for those of you that are new, when the Lord said, hey, I want you to start teaching jewelry making online, I'm like, Lord, that has nothing to do with my business. Like, what am I doing? And he said, but it's about me. And so this is what he wants me to do, to share him and to talk about him and to just be a light. So that's why I do this, even though this is not a part of my business, it's not a part of what I do full time. It's a part of what the Lord wants me to do. So we all know that obedience is greater than sacrifice. So sometimes we try to overthink stuff and outthink God, right? Thinking it has to make sense, but it only has to make sense to him. It doesn't have to make sense to us. So, because he said, I'll use the foolish things to confound the wise, right? That's what the word says. So that's what we're doing. Look how cute. So let's let those dry. Then we'll do one more little coat to paint along the edges. Let me just smooth out that paint so we don't have blobs. And then we'll let that dry really well. And then we'll start to add all of our decorations. So cute. Be back. Okay, you guys, so now we are ready to start finishing these up. I'm gonna have to lay them flat for us to work on them, but I'll turn around so you can see them. And what I'm using is an angled brush. I don't know that this is gonna work, but I really want it to, right? Well, let me get an angle. This is an angled brush. Here's one. So I'm using my angled brush, so I'm gonna wet it right quick. But it's not perfectly angled. I think I smashed the bristles one time, so you technically want one that is angled and stiff, because you want, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some paint and on each side, so like paint on that side, paint on this side, and then we're gonna do like this, that type thing. So notice how it gave me an ombre. That's kind of what I want over here, but I haven't done this in forever. So I'm hoping that it works. But if not, guess what? Oh, shoot. Guess what? If it doesn't, we're going to be grateful for what we do get over here. So I'm going to dip in the green. I'm going to dip in the blue. Right? So green and blue. And then I'm going to press down and push it towards the edge. That's what we end up getting. So I'm going to be happy with whatever I get for each side, because we just can't call it, right? So that's the same thing we're gonna do for the pink and the green. You're gonna rinse your brush off. I really feel like I need to get some new brushes. And each time I go to the store, I forget. But you know, Dollar Tree has really nice brushes. I haven't tried their brushes yet. So you don't want the brush to be wet. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip the purple, the pink, And then if you want, you can dot your brush on the end, and then I'm gonna do the same swirl across the bottom. I'm gonna dip my purple, dip my pink. I'm gonna dot it down once just to get the excess off. And I'm gonna do the swirl across the bottom. Okay. And you don't have to reload the brush. I mean, don't have to reload it. You don't have to rinse the brush off if you're doing the same colors. You can turn the brush around. So, I mean, I was off camera, sorry about that. So I'm just gonna keep doing what we're doing. So we're just dipping side to side. I'm dotting a little bit of the excess paint off. And then we're just doing our swirls, okay? Now I'm gonna rinse the brush off because I wanna do the green and the blue on the opposite side of the earring. So this is just me. I need to glue that down, right? Keeps coming off. This is just me making up a design and a pattern for my earring, right? You can do yours however you want. So I'm gonna turn this one around. And again, we're just gonna lay it on its side and do it that way, okay? You don't wanna overthink it, just swirl it, because you're gonna get whatever you're gonna get anyway, right? I'm gonna dot the brush off a little bit. You just wanna try to make it as uniform as possible, right? But with handmade earrings, it is what it is. I need a little bit more blue right there, so I'm just gonna drag a tail of blue right there, okay? So now, I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it. Look how pretty. So now what I wanna do is I wanna add some detailing in between those swirls. So it has a little bit more color, but I'm gonna stay in the same color family. These are so pretty, look like unicorns, don't they? So because I wanna be in that same color pattern, I'm gonna rinse that brush off. And I feel like I wanna do some stripes or something. And I think I still wanna do like that ombre look, but just in stripes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, again, dip the left side, dip the right side. I'm gonna dot the brush off, and then I'm gonna do the opposite color over here. So notice that how, because I had one side dipped in blue and one side dipped in green, it gave me that ombre color. It did a double line, two different colors. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna re-dip in green. I'm gonna reload in blue. I'm gonna dot it off. And then I'm gonna do a line this way. I'm gonna do a line that way. Okay. And we're gonna rinse it off, and now we're gonna do our pink and purple on this side. So I'm gonna dip in the purple. I'm gonna dip in the pink. And dot it off. I noticed that there's a little opening in my brush right there. That's why I said it's not perfectly an angle brush. So I'm gonna pat that down a little bit just to close up that gap. So I re-dipped my brush. Then I drew a line on the paper just to make sure I had a pink and a purple. I'm gonna try to just use what I have without reloading and hope it comes out great, perfect. Okay. So cute. You remind me of My Little Pony. I don't know why. Probably because of the unicorn and the colors are pastel-y. So now I need to do something down there. I realized I didn't match those up. So that's fine. It'll just be a little different. So what I'll do down here is do the pink and purple down there, and I'll do the pink and purple up here, and then they'll match. Perfect. Okay. Yay. Now, I could stop there, but more is more. and I love more. So what I'm going to do is I want to add a few little dots, I think, into this section and that section. Maybe in white, just to add some accents. And then we'll let these dry and move on to the other ones. So I'm just taking my dotting tool, dipping it in the cap. I'm not even going to put out any white paint because I don't think it's necessary. I think there's plenty inside the top that I can work with. And this is just to add like that really pretty detailing and that pop that makes sure it's different from everybody else's. Look how pretty. So if I wanted to, I could probably put some colored dots in each of those, but I don't know, I may just leave it alone because I don't want to take away from the sticker itself by doing too much, because I can tend to do too much. So let's just put our little dots on here and we'll let these dry. It's really pretty. And you could just do earrings with just that angled brush with the swirl and make a whole collection of just using the ombre pattern we did with the swirls. Okay. I need to make that dot a little bigger. Okay. So these are gonna go and dry and they are so super cute. So I'm gonna sit those over there. And now I guess we can work on the red ones. I wanna do bats on here. So I think that I'm gonna do white bats with black eyes instead of black bats with yellow eyes. But let's see. So I decided that I wanted white and yellow bats. I don't know why, right? Not white and yellow. I wanted to do white bats and black bats with yellow eyes. That's what I wanted to do. So I need to pour some paint out over here on the side. Sorry for the noise. So I'm just using these little plastic plates, styrofoam plates. So I know they're not good for the environment. We'll talk about that another day, okay? So, because I already know like this stuff can come up and people will be like, you use styrofoam plates. I know, I had them, I didn't buy them. My mother brought them for a party. I don't know why I felt the need to explain that. So let's use our little pointer tool like we did before. And we're just gonna make some dots. Make some V's, right? I think I thought I was recording the last time I made bats and I wasn't. So I'm just making a V, like a check mark. So we're just making V's to look like bat wings. And what I did was I sent the picture to my husband and my sister and I said, hey, they were like, oh, those are cute. I said, what do those look like? They said bats. So they could tell, right? From just doing the little V, they look like bat wings. So we're gonna do, there's no white bat. I guess there is an albino bat. Maybe I'm just gonna do some white eyes and some yellow eyes. That's what we'll do. So, my opinion, and I let a fly in here somehow when I went outside. Okay, so we got our bats on, and now what we're gonna do is we probably should give a few minutes for the bats to dry. So when we go to put the eyes on there, they don't get messed up and get blended in with the black paint. Okay, so now we have the pumpkins. So what I was going to do was add the orange pumpkins. We had some miniature pumpkins over there, but I was like, I don't think I want to do that. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is attempt a spider. I don't know how to draw a spider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom of my brush because I think it'll be a large enough circle. I don't think I have a wider ball than this. And then I'm gonna make a dot right here, and then we're just gonna give it some legs, okay? So let's do that. So I'm dipping my brush. So we're gonna do, I dipped the brush already. We're gonna do like that, just create a spider body, okay? So I'm gonna dip it a couple times just to make sure I have a good amount of paint. I'm gonna make a dot. So now we have our dot. And we can make legs. I think I'm gonna do another one at the top. This one's just gonna have 2 spiders, okay? But I'm gonna do it far enough down from the top so when I go to put the hole for the earring, it doesn't, might need to make that one a little larger. Here we go. Okay. So now we're gonna let those dry, and then after they dry a little bit, we're gonna do a spider. And I think that I'm gonna make the spider have different color legs, but we'll figure that out. So let's sit them over there to dry. I need to have them on a flat surface. So rather than sit them where I have the other ones, we're just gonna sit those down. Sorry for reaching across the camera. So now we gotta figure out what to do with these, right? Because the colors are a little odd. And I was just getting that paint off my hands. I really don't have a design idea for these. I was thinking we could do something to like what we did with the unicorn ones with the colored lines or the colored patterns, but I'm honestly not sure. So I know we need to do something to offset the blue because the colors kind of really don't all go together. I'm about to think about these. Let me think about them. I'm still thinking about the light blue ones, but let's go ahead and put the bat eyes on these. So remember, we're gonna do yellow and white eyes for our bats. So I'm just taking, wrong shade of yellow. That's like a gold, which is fine, but I want a bright yellow. Oh shoot. So to make the bat eyes, we're using, it's called dark yellow, but that's not really too dark. But anyway. So we're going to use our little dotting tool, and we're going to use the tiniest one, the tiniest side. And we're just going to dot in our yellow. We're going to do, I'm just going to do alternating bats. And what I mean by alternating bats is putting alternate the yellow and the white. How cute is that? Oh my gosh. I really should make them all yellow. That's really cute. I like that contrast. Let's try a white dot for the bat eyes and see what they look like. And see if we like it. Because I feel like with the red, you got to have some type of contrast. I like it. So cute. Because it looks like the creepy eyes you would see on Scooby-Doo. So since I already have white on here, I'm going to go ahead and do the white eyes on this one. And then let's do the yellows, and we'll be done with these. Now we just have to let them completely dry so we can put our 3D, I'm sorry, the Dimensional Magic. I always want to say 3D for some reason. So stinking cutesies. Cute. So we'll let those dry. Now let's do our spider legs. So these are not really finished drying. Hold on. So I thought about using a brush to do the spider legs, but I'm wondering if it'll be easier and I'll have more control with this little pick tool. So let's try that first. I'm just gonna, I have the black set off to the side, so I'm just gonna see. I feel like I can control it because I'm using it more like a pencil. I know spiders have 8 legs. I'm trying to figure this out. The challenge is going to be matching it up over here. Right, so let's try again. So with handmade things, you know, they're not perfect in terms of perfectly symmetrical. And I'm okay with that, so. And you can always try to match them up once it dries a little bit versus while it's wet, okay? So all I did was use the pointer similar to a pencil. And now what I'm gonna do is, I think that's a pretty great spider. I'm gonna give them eyes after they dry a little bit in the center. The centers of those are still wet. So now let's do the legs up here. So all I'm doing is a line from the body and then drag it down. A line from the body, I'm dragging it down. Just doing a line, dragging it down. And then I'm just doing the little butt area. It's just like a little C shape. And the pinchers, I'm just doing as like, they fold into each other, okay? So I feel like those are good enough spiders. And what's pretty cool is that there's a spider web on the pumpkin, so that just ties into the design. So let me try to match them up. So we're just gonna do a line and draw, a line and draw. Okay. So close enough. Sweet, I love it. They're adorable. Okay, so now still got to figure out the blue ones. I don't know that. I think it's that blue color is uninspiring to me. That's what's going on with these. So I'm trying to figure out. I thought about putting like the eyeballs on these, but that just doesn't seem to make sense to me. I think I'm just gonna do some white lines on here, and let's start there in the design and see where it goes. So I'm just doing a drag down line with the paint as if it's a pen, right? So I'm just dragging it down as if I could write with it. Try not to get it on your sticker. So maybe it could kind of look like claw marks. Let's go with that type of a design. Almost like something tearing at it like that. So we'll do a black down the middle that way. So then from there, we're gonna let that dry and then we'll figure out the rest of it. But I kind of like the claw idea and just keeping it simple. And we'll figure out the rest of it. But I like the black and white detail. I feel like that really made it pop. So I'm gonna think about those in a second while they're drying, and then we'll. Okay, so let's go ahead now and put the eiders on the spies. That's. Let's go ahead and put the eyes on the spiders. So I am going to use the larger dotting tool, and I think I got this one. This one is newer. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby, where the other ones I had before from when I did nails. So, or maybe we want to give the spider a center and then give it eyes. I don't know. Like if it had a body or whatever. But I think if I use the larger dotting tool, the eyes might be too big. So let's not do that. Let's just use the opposite end of the one we did the bat eyes with, because it's just a little bit larger. So see, like a needle head. Not a needle head. It's like a straight pin top. So let's do some eyes. That's hysterical. That gives them like perfect personality. Now that eye got a little bit larger than I wanted on that one over there. So I'm just gonna match it up. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm hollering. Look, that's hysterical. But what I'm gonna do to like give it even more pop is to put some white dots in the center of the yellow eyes as soon as they dry a little bit. Because then that's gonna give it a little bit more animation, right? So I love this dotting tool. Like you can do so much with it. His eye got off just a little bit. I mean, it have to be perfect. So if your spider has a little bit of a genetic deformity, right? Oh my gosh, but what I realized is, oh no, it was upside down. I thought I had my eyes on the butt of the spider on that one. Okay, so I noticed that there's a little spot right here where the black wasn't filled in for the legs. So I'm just gonna fill that in. You can always go back and make corrections. So let's let those dry, and then after they dry, then what we'll do is we'll add the white animated parts, and then we're gonna be finished with these. So I've decided I'm gonna add some dot detailing on here. So I think that I'm gonna put the polka dots along the white just to give it some, like a 3D effect, kind of like some dimension. I don't know why I'm into these dots today, but I feel like it makes the earrings less creepy, even though they're not scary or anything, but it just makes them more fun and whimsical versus, I don't like creepy things. I used to have this thing for watching scary movies, but now I don't, because I'm like, I ain't got time to be haunted, and I don't want no demons chasing after me while I'm trying to enjoy my peaceful, restful sleep. So look how pretty. I like that. I may add a little bit more to it, but for now, I like it how it is. So we're just gonna add a few more dots. Make sure you match your dots up. I think we did 4. And then on the other side, we did 3. And I'm just retapping the black. Turn it upside down, and then we have 4 on each side over here. So 1. Y'all hear Bolt running around. He must be getting ready to go outside with Caleb because he seems a little excited. Okay. So then, love it. I probably could add a little bit more. I kind of want to add some white along the pumpkin edging. But then if I don't like it, what is we's gonna do? Let's see, let's just try it. Have y'all watched the movie A Jazz Man's Blues? Oh my gosh. It was good and sad and made you mad and all kind of stuff all at the same time. But it was a really excellent movie. It's by Tyler Perry. I watched it last night. I watched another movie too. It was really good. I'm trying to think. One was called Lou. And that was good. But that was really good. A Jazz Man's Blues. I think that's how you say it. So I love it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the black up to the edge a little bit more, just so those dots aren't just kind of lost in the sauce up there, and it finishes out the design. It makes it look finished. Okay. Pretty. My kids are so loud. So because there's 6 on that one side over there, I'm just gonna I had to make the dot a little bit larger to match the other earring. And y'all look, we're supposed to be doing hurricane preparedness and hurricane readiness. Lord, my mother was worrying me last night. Do you have batteries? Do you have food? Do you have flashlights? I'm like, Mommy, we are 2 hours from the coast. Right? That doesn't mean you shouldn't get ready though. I mean, because you can have flooding and stuff like that. But nevertheless, so I got to run to the store so she doesn't worry me half this day about, do I have all these things that I don't need? And then it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So, oh, I forgot to do the whites around here, but let me make sure to match these up. So I gotta go do all that today after I get my real work done. So here we go. So let's go ahead and do the dots around the pumpkin. I was going to say around the potato. So I'm going to make sure to get some aluminum pans. I don't know, I feel like that's standing out, like in case we had to cook on the grill or whatever. So I'm going to do that. I'm just rambling, right? I'm just talking out loud about the things I need to get done. So that's 4 there, 5, and then 4 there. Okay, perfect. Look how pretty. So I feel like that's really pretty detail. I need to add one more black dot at the top. And now all of these are completed. Except for the spider. Hold on. So now I'm going to add the white dots to his eyes using the smaller size. I am hollering. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Look how cute. So I feel like I want to add a little bit of detail to his body. So what I'm going to do is, I think I have some orange paint somewhere. Let's see. So I just keep this stuff in the Ziploc bag. So the paint will stay, it'll stay moist for a few days. So what I want to do is I just want to add some little dots along his butt. And then that'll just give him some creepy factor. That's really cute. And what's going to happen is when we go to put the dimensional magic on there, it's going to stand out. Okay? So let's let everybody dry, gather themselves together, and then I need to drill the holes and all of that. So we'll do that and then we'll come back, okay? God bless you guys. See you soon. Guys, okay, so look how they look up close. Look how pretty. So super cute. So I know right there I got a little black dot of paint. I'll fix that. Be back. Okay, you guys, so I decided to bring you along on the ride with the dimensional magic. So what you want to do is, it has a nozzle on the end of it, but you want to pour it slowly. Okay, so as I'm squeezing it, I'm just squeezing it gently, and then you want to use the nozzle to kind of drag it out, making sure your design is really dry, because that way, if you use the nozzle to drag it out, you can also use the nozzle to pop any air bubbles that may come out. And even though it's coming out cloudy, it's going to dry clear. So I want to make sure to put a little bit extra around the design itself, and make sure to push it out towards the edges, because it shrinks inward a little bit. Meaning if you put a lot in the middle and you don't spread it out towards the edges, then when it begins to shrink and come to the inside of the design or inside of the earring, the edges won't be as shiny. They'll look like you were missing some spots. Okay. And also because the wood on the earrings is, what's the word I'm looking for? Not even per se. It's going to go into the little divots, you know, that are on in the wood grain and the wood pattern itself. So that's why you want to make sure you're getting a really great coverage, because you can't go back and put, well, you can, but if you try to go back and put more dimensional magic on the design after it dries, it's going to be cloudy. It's not going to turn out shiny, okay? So I'm just going to put a little pointer tool right there to hold it down. You may have something more effective than what I'm using. And you want to make sure to not let it dry on the paper, because if I leave it on this paper, it's going to stick. Now notice that it's not really wanting to stay on the sticker. So I'm having to make sure that I'm putting a lot on here to where it has to settle on the sticker. And probably just because the sticker is really shiny. So I do notice that there are some bubbles. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to move them around and push them around to the edge. But let's say they don't come out, right? I'm just going to take the pointy tool and I'm just going to poke them out. It's not going to affect your design in any way. Meaning the pokey tool is not going to affect the design, but that bubble being in there will. And I just drag it to the edge. Also, sometimes if you push too much on the end of the nozzle, it can form a puddle or a bead down there. So now I just want to slide this off the paper before it starts to dry, because I don't want it to dry and get stuck to the paper. So now it dries relatively quickly. It doesn't necessarily need overnight to dry. It'll probably be dry within a couple of hours depending on how thick you make it. So you want to watch your designs, you know, while you're within the first 5 to 10 minutes, because it does dry quickly. And then that way you can avoid any issues later on after it's started to settle. So I'm just squeezing out a fair amount, only because I'm used to working with it and I want it to go faster. I'm not going to do all these on camera because that'll be like watching paint dry, literally. And I did a pretty thick amount only because the spider, the eyes are raised up a little bit from where we used the dotting tool. So I want to make sure that those eyes get covered up in the design as well. And then just make sure everything's off on the edges. I noticed a little bubble right there, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop any bubbles I do see. And let's just say you end up with bubbles on your design. It's not the end of the world. You could add a little bit of paint to where you have the bubble and then go back and put, I shouldn't say it won't dry clear because it will. After it's completely dried, if you have errors and you're able to fix the errors in any way, then you can fix the error with a little bit of paint depending on how your design was done. And then you could put some more dimensional magic over it, but you don't want to have to do that. But notice every time I start to re-pour, a bubble comes out. So you want to let that bubble settle out first or get rid of it before you start pouring your design. Okay. And then you want to start at the top and work your way down. I'm just going to squeeze a whole lot on here. And you want to squeeze pretty evenly. Don't take breaks in between the squeezing, because if you let go and release it, you're going to push air into it, which will create a bubble. So this is just trying to create as fewer bubbles as possible. And this is a pretty large space to work with. Okay. Okay. Make sure the sticker is covered well. So I'm just using the nozzle to guide everything around. These are going to be really pretty. So then just slide it off to the side. And I need to get it really out of my way as far as possible, because I have a habit of touching stuff with my hands. So I'm going to go do the rest of these. I won't bore you, but we're going to get them all done. Now, things can fly around and get on your design. So like dust in the air, gnats, bugs, you know, depending on where you're designing. So be sure you could cover it up. It might take a little bit longer to dry, but you could just cover it with like a plastic container that is high enough that it doesn't touch the face of your design. You could cover them that way if you wanted to. And that way make sure, you know, nothing settles on it or lands on it, because there are always particles in the air that we can't see. But if you're not worried about that, just leave them to dry. But there's a fly flying around in here. Now, wouldn't that be horrifying for a fly to get stuck to my design? So I may actually cover mine up. We'll see. I don't know where he is at the moment. Like, why are you here? It's not even summertime anymore, but it's pretty warm here. I'm in North Carolina. So it's still 70 and 80 degrees outside. So we had a couple of bubbles here. And I'm gonna check on the ones we did, see if there are any bubbles over there. Nope, looking good. And you wanna make sure these are on a flat surface so they dry evenly. Set that off to the side. So now I'm gonna go finish these and then all the other ones that we did the other day, and then we'll be back to see what they look like after they dry. And then we'll drill the holes because I haven't done that. So I decided to end the video here. I got to drill the holes, and we're not going to do all that. But look, I just want to show you how pretty and glass-like they came out. They are gorgeous. So, yep, the last step is to make them into earrings. I painted all the backs, gave them a really pretty finish on the back. Sometimes I do Mod Podge on the back, but I don't ever do Dimensional Magic on the back. You could if you wanted to. Oh my gosh, are these not the cutest? So they all look like glass. They look like resin. That's what I love about the Dimensional Magic. You just got to be patient with it. Go slow. Pop out all your air bubbles. And voila. They look like magic. Look how cute. Oh my gosh. Are they not? All these things always come out way cuter than I expect them to or think they will. Not because I'm doing them. I just think they're super cute. The stickers really are the showstopper, right? Look how cute. Those are black cats. And I like how the black cats showed up on the black background because I was wondering how that was going to look. And then here's the jack-o'-lantern that have the witch hats. Witches are my least favorite thing in the entire world. And look how cute. I think these are one of my favorite pair because of the yellow eyes on the bats. My husband loves aliens. Well, he doesn't love aliens, but he likes UFO type stuff. So I think this is my second favorite pair because of the spiders. I think they came out really cute. So let me know what you think. I will see you on the next project, and then stay tuned for a sticker haul. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.